The human civilization is built on a lie. For the last century, human civilization operated on a simple, unspoken agreement. We called it the social contract. It was the foundation of the Western world that stated that your value to society was directly linked to your labor. If you studied hard, worked long hours, and provided a service, whether it was baking bread or performing heart surgery, society would reward you with stability. But in the year 2025, that contract was completely incinerated and replaced by a new, more volatile currency called the attention. This is Sophie Rain. She is 21 years old. She doesn't have a degree. She hasn't spent decades in a boardroom. She doesn't manage a workforce. And yet, she has reportedly amassed more wealth in 24 months than the CEOs of several Fortune 500 companies. Her success is not an anomaly but a symptom and the final piece of evidence in the context of the 9 to 5 dream. Today, we aren't just looking at a viral influencer. We are looking at the death of the meritocracy. We are looking at the Spider-Man girl who proved that in the 21st century, being known is more profitable than being useful. To understand this story, we have to look at the Florida girl before all the fame came her way. Sophie Rain's story begins in a way that many people can relate to: the struggle for survival. She wasn't born with a silver spoon. She grew up in a household where the primary financial strategy was simply stretching the dollar.
Me personally, no. I grew up, like I said, I grew up very poor. Me and my family, we were low class. And I've seen obviously the ugly and I've seen the great side. So I think that proud. I'm proud of my maturity.
This wasn't a life of luxury. It was a life of making do, of figuring things out, and of surviving with very little. At 18, Sophie was a waitress. In Florida, the minimum wage for tipped employees is notoriously low. She was trading her physical health standing for 8 hours, carrying trays, dealing with rude customers for a few dollars an hour.
I was a server. I served for 2 years at a restaurant. It was a little mom and pop Italian place. I hosted, I cooked, I bartended, I served. I was, full range. I could do everything there.
This is honest work. This is what we tell our children is the correct way to start. But Sophie was watching the world change through her phone. She saw that while she was scrubbing tables for $12 an hour, girls her age were making $12,000 a minute by simply existing.
You made $1 million in your first year. Holy and hell, congratulations. So talk to us.
I was just really, really broke. I couldn't even barely pay my rent without feeling really, really stressed. I started it. The first night I made $1,000. And I was like, this is pretty addictive. It just went up and up from there. It's $10,000 the first month. And then obviously just kind of increased every month.
You made $1 million from it in 2021. But now I'm seeing reports that are saying 240 million. What's the actual number?
The actual number, it was close to 2 million within a 2-year span.
I was actually broke as fuck before I started OnlyFans. I barely had shit. My mom was in control of my money, so she was doing whatever she wanted to do. I had a $500 limit on my card.
Did you just know about OnlyFans? How did you decide to do it?
I remember just being on the phone with my manager, give me $3 million in an account and then $100,000 every month and I'll be good. I'll do this, I don't care. And then it was just well, here's your $3 million that you wanted in 4 hours. Here you go, have it. And then it just kept going and going and going.
The psychological toll of the 9 to 5 is often ignored. It's the realization that under the current economic system in the US and Europe, working hard no longer guarantees a house. It barely guarantees a grocery bill.
And honestly, I wanted something out of my life because I knew I couldn't serve forever. Obviously, that's just not something I wanted to do. And I grew up
Sophie Rain saw the dead-end sign of the traditional career path before she even started. She didn't want to be a manager at a restaurant. She wanted an exit. And the exit arrived in the form of a black spandex suit. Every case study has a Genesis moment. For Sophie, it was a glitch in the internet's collective memory. In late 2023, a video went viral. It was a girl in a black Spider-Man suit performing a suggestive dance. It was anonymous. It was leaked. Internet made a mistake by tagging Sophie Rain on the video, so within 48 hours, her name was trending globally on many platforms. Once upon a time, a false accusation of that nature would have sent you straight to a lawyer's office and perhaps driven you into hiding, entirely consumed by shame. But Sophie Rain belongs to a generation that has been desensitized to shame and sensitized to engagement. She saw her follower count ticking up by 100,000 an hour. She saw the search volume for Sophie Rain Spider-Man surpassing actual news events.
My name is Naomi Soraya. She is the one in that video, and people say that we look alike. So
it was like your twin.
Yes. And then everyone just assumed it was me, and I still today can't get away from the Spider-Man video. But it was not me.
Okay.
Instead of fighting the narrative, she chose to own it. She staged the recreation and transmuted a case of mistaken identity into a bulletproof brand identity. Her pivot exposed a chilling reality of our time. The algorithm is blind to authenticity. It rewards only availability. Before the public could even untangle the truth from the fake, she had already captured millions of fans. It was the final nail in the coffin for the honest job.
How much have you made so far on OF?
The last time I checked, of all time?
Yeah.
Last time I checked, it was 100 million.
Now we have to discuss the engine of this $100 million machine. It isn't the millions of people paying $10. It is a phenomenon we call the whale economy. In 2024, Sophie revealed a document that sent shockwaves through the financial community. One fan, a user known only as Charlie, had spent over $6 million on her. $6 million. For a single person's digital attention.
A lot of my money comes from my top spenders. Charlie, he's one of my top biggest spenders. He is the biggest spender. He spent $4.7 million in the course of a year. And wow. He's awesome. And he's just super nice guy.
Have you spoken to him? Like, do you do like a video chat with him? Have you actually spoken to him?
I haven't yet. Just through OnlyFans, we talk.
Wow. And you know, to me, if somebody's doing that, they are obsessed with you. I mean, it's an addiction.
Why does a man spend $6 million on a girl he will never touch? To answer this, we have to look at the epidemic of loneliness in the West. We are living through a period where traditional relationships are collapsing. Men, particularly in the US and UK, are lonelier than ever. Sophie Rain doesn't sell sex, remember. She markets herself as a Christian, cynical part of her story. By branding herself as pure, she creates a parasocial sinkhole. The whales believe that if they spend enough, if they are the top tipper, they will be the one to break the virginity. It's a gamified version of romance. She isn't a creator, she is a high-stakes casino, and the simps are the gamblers who think they can finally hit the jackpot. $6 million, that is the price of an illusion which has become the most profitable export of the American economy. In the United Kingdom, the National Health Service is collapsing. Why? Because junior doctors are being paid £15 an hour to decide who lives and who dies. In the United States, teachers are working 2 jobs just to afford a 1-bedroom apartment. While a teacher spends 22 years shaping minds just to secure a middle-class life, and an architect logs 12 years of endless drafting to make a name for themselves, Sophie Rain disrupted the entire economic ladder in just 4 hours with a single viral trend. When the reward for digital teasing is 50,000% higher than the reward for saving a life, the system has failed. We are seeing a generation of young women who were once destined to be scientists, lawyers, or engineers, looking at Sophie Rain and realizing that the smart choice is actually the stupid choice. She would also go on to compare herself to LeBron James in yearly earning at a show with David Dobrik. I almost made more than LeBron James last year.
I made $3.4 million. Someone take a vacation.
I almost made more than LeBron last year. God damn. He made 56 million, I made 43.
Leading to a lot of comments on her Twitter account. Sugar Mama. Congrats on being a prostitute, it's a real flex. Making money off our nuts. Crazy how someone with zero talent can make more money than the greatest basketball player in history. Why struggle through 8 years of medical school and $400,000 in debt when you can buy a $20 Spider-Man suit and make a doctor's annual salary in a weekend? We are witnessing the death of ambition. We are trading our intellectual future for a short-term dopamine rush. The 9 to 5 dream isn't just dying. It's being buried by the sheer weight of the OnlyFans gold rush. Sophie Rain knows the world judges her. She knows the honest workers are resentful. So, she deployed a masterclass in PR.
Yes. How much do you pay in taxes?
I pay a lot in taxes. I pay 37% of federal taxes, and I made 83 million last year total, so I paid 37% of that.
She showed her $30 million tax bill. She framed herself as a patriot who is funding the roads and schools. She bought her parents a massive farm in Tampa. She retired her father, the man who worked 9 to 5 his whole life. People went to her social media saying, she doesn't produce anything. She's talking like she's some hotshot entrepreneur. But really she's profiting off of the pedo fantasies of anonymous men. She should be taxed at 99%. I don't think she understands economics very well. Of models are stupid. Shocking. It's the Robin Hood narrative. She's stealing from the lonely whales and giving to her working-class family. This narrative makes her untouchable. How can you hate a girl who saved her family from poverty? But the forensic truth is more complex. By saving her family, she has essentially validated the idea that the only way to escape the working class is to sell your soul to the algorithm. She has turned her family into props for a business model that relies on the exploitation of male loneliness. What, then, is the final verdict of the Sophie Rain experiment? It is the realization that we no longer live in a world governed by merit, but by metrics. She didn't just beat the system, she exposed it. Is she a villain? No. She is a mirror that clearly reflects a world where the 9 to 5 dream has become a nightmare of inflation, debt, and stagnancy. We aren't really mad at Sophie Rain. It's maddening to realize that the economic ecosystem rewarding her with a $100 million windfall is the very same one failing the nurse who can't afford basic transportation. We like to romanticize the 9 to 5 as a golden era of dignity. But as Sophie refreshes her bank app on a private jet, she broadcasts a silent, undeniable message to every child in the West: don't work hard. Work the algorithm. Remember the 9 to 5? Because in the world Sophie Rain built, it's nothing more than a ghost story.